Start with dramatic footage, animated Middle East map plus explosions. Today we stand at one of the most dangerous geopolitical flashpoints on Earth. The United States and Iran are on the brink of war. Short montage of headlines, explosions, missiles, protests, energy price charts. What this video will cover: a full background on U.S.-Iran relations, timeline of escalating tensions, key players, U.S., Iran, Israel, Gulf states, NATO, causes, nuclear program, strategic interests, major events in 2025-2026, future scenarios and possible outcomes, why it matters. Impact on world peace, oil and global markets, military alliances shifting, civil liberties and protests across nations. Smoothly transition into the first major section: origins of U.S.-Iran relations. U.S.-Iran ties since World War II, 1953 CIA-backed coup in Iran, rise of the Islamic Revolution, 1979, hostage crisis and severed diplomatic ties, long-standing enmity, Iran's theocracy versus U.S. global power, proxy conflicts, Iraqi 80s, Afghanistan, Syria, Lebanon, Iran's support for Hezbollah and other groups, U.S. sanctions over decades, nuclear tensions build, Iran's nuclear program announced, 2015 nuclear deal, Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, 2018 U.S. withdrawal under Trump presidency, renewed tensions and sanctions, early 2025 buildup, nuclear talks in Muscat, Oman early February 2026, U.S. deploys aircraft carriers and warships to the Gulf, repeated U.S. rhetoric about regime change in Iran, Operation Epic Fury, the joint strike, on February 28, 2026, the U.S. and Israel launched coordinated airstrikes on Iran, targeted missile sites, air defenses, navy and leadership facilities. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei killed in the attack, reported in multiple outlets. The Guardian. Iran's response: Iran launched missile and drone strikes on U.S. bases and allies across the Gulf. Iranian attacks on Bahrain and Khalij states listed. Iranian drones strike a UK base in Cyprus. Regional chaos unfolds. Multiple Middle Eastern nations affected. U.S. diplomatic staff withdrawn from Gulf nations. Reuters. Attacks on U.S. embassies and military facilities rise. Domestic reactions. Massive protests against the strikes in cities across the U.S. Influential politicians debate war authority. Nuclear talks break down. Muscat and Geneva negotiations, progress and disputes. Iran's insistence on nuclear rights. U.S. demands broader concessions. Heightened rhetoric overshadowing diplomacy. Miscalculations and intelligence. Intelligence reports on Iran's missile capabilities. U.S. fear of nuclear breakout. Iran fears regime change and containment. Proxy dynamics. Hezbollah and Tehran's regional network. Yemeni Houthis and Red Sea security. Saudi Arabia and GCC strategic shifts. International reactions. NATO concerns about escalation. UN Security Council emergency sessions. European states urging restraint. Energy market shockwaves. Disruption of the Strait of Hormuz, a vital oil transit route. Ship rerouting via Africa. Oil prices surge. Trade and insurance turbulence. Impact on South Asia and India. Pharmaceutical trade risks. Supply chain and logistics disruptions. Financial and economic consequences. Stock jitter, energy inflation, global economic slowdown risk. U.S. military objectives: destroy Iran's missiles, navy and stop nuclear ambitions. Cyber and space operations. Israel's strategic role. Operation Lion's Roar history and details. Israeli defense doctrine. Iran's capabilities. Missile forces, drones and naval threats. Asymmetric warfare and proxy forces. War tactics and technology. Precision strikes. Electronic warfare. Anti-access/area denial. Iran, civilian casualties, public sentiment, nationalistic fervor or anti-war, social media traces from Iranian cities, in the U.S. and West, families of soldiers, protests and divide in public opinion, refugees and displacement, internally displaced people in war zones, hospitals, shortage of medical supplies,